Follow me through my thoughts, y'all. It's going to be a great journey. I went through a street interview and I've had some guests on the podcast answer this question about what reality would they want to live in. Reality one is a reality where everything is honest and true. When someone engages with you, they are completely honest. So let's say you want them to help you clean your room. They say, I don't feel like it. I don't want to clean my room. And you get that answer and move on with your life. Or you might feel some type of way. But the goal in this world is anyone who engages with you, they won't be phony. They won't pretend. They won't act like something is what it's not in their reality as they respond to you. So you get honest and you get truth. In the other world, in the other reality, whatever your desire, your needs, your wants, they are always met when you engage with people. Now, let me map this all together. When I think about being on social media and why I enjoy experiencing social media is because it's like a huge case study. It's a huge case study of the earth experience. People are now coming to social media and they're saying exactly how they feel. They're pulling out their thoughts and their think pieces, and their belief systems are all pouring through the screen. They're telling you everything that they feel, desire, and even some insecurities are surfacing, even some hate, even some delusions, even some dreams and hopes are surfacing. So in this reality where people come in the world and they get into this other reality, fake reality of social media, and I'm not sure if it's completely fake. Some people are real. I'm a real person. Like, look, I'm a real person and I'm coming on the internet. I consider myself real even though I'm on social media. But sometimes when we're engaging in social media, because we consume it so much, we're like, this can't be real, or this is all fake, and this is just the performance that people are giving on. I will say this is a performance because I don't walk around talking like this unless I'm in an engaging conversation. I'm engaging with a screen, hoping there are people on the other side listening when they press play, right? But the idea is that we are on social media and we're getting people's responses of how they want the world to be. If they criticize something, for instance, let's say a Christian YouTuber comes on the podcast or comes on YouTube and he says, hey, that other Christian person is demonic and they don't know the truth and they don't know the world. And then someone who is into deconstructing and they pass through deconstructing and they say, I have deconstructed completely. I don't believe in any of this mess. They come on and they say, oh, all of these Christians, they're a bunch of delusional dummies and all the bad things that you can say about a person. Both sides are finding reason to find fault. But if they lived in their ideal reality, if they lived in their ideal society, what does that look like? When they pull out their definitions and meanings and functionalities, what does it look like? Some would say, I just want peace on earth. What does peace look like? It means that there might be some agreeableness. Maybe someone in an honest reality won't really want to agree with your reality, but because they're engaging with you, they now fall into place. They are going with your society rules. They're going with how you see society. Let me pull this out just a little bit if you're not following me. I have to illustrate this now because I think you might not be following me. So let's go back to that Christian YouTuber. He says, no one in the world can be walking around here with shorts because that's against God. So then in his world, in his reality, he would choose the reality where everyone is walking around without shorts. They all wear long skirts. They all, I don't know what I wanted to say there. They all just fall in line with what he says. Then the next thing he critiques is, you can't be listening to that hip hop music. And so in his world, no one is listening to hip hop music. Everyone is singing, glory, glory to the Lord our God. I love gospel music, by the way. I love it so much. But in his world, that's what it looks like. Now let's go over to the next reality, right? This is social media world I'm talking about. But in the social media world, we have someone come on and they say, Christians, I just want y'all to stop being so dumb. I want y'all to read the word. Y'all so dumb. Y'all so stupid. I hate them. I hate them. Right? They're, okay. Both sides, actually, I hope that I'm giving balance here because I don't want to be on one side or the other. I try to be balanced. That's what the channel is supposed to be about. Balance. Okay. So we're living in a world, social media world, and this is what I'm receiving. And I'm stopping and I'm pausing and I'm thinking, do we see this?
Drug dealing just to get by. Stack your money till it gets sky high. We wasn't supposed to make it past 25. Joke's on you, we still alive. Throw your hands up in the sky and say, we don't care what people say.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, exactly.
Do we engage with this without pausing and thinking and considering that something is off? No matter where I land in my algorithm, I can find a place where someone is upset with the other people and they want them to fit their form. But in an honest world, there are going to be people who have a difference in meaning and thinking and delivering. And all of us cooperate in that world, there's going to be some nonsense because there are going to be people who really believe in what their faith is to the full extent. There are people who are really going to believe that that's not possible to the full extent. And so operating with them means what? If I'm operating in this world and I have a belief system that I carry, the fruit of what I believe should be evident somewhere, right? There should be some evidence that loving your neighbor as yourself is going to result in positive feedback at the end of the day, or some positive result at the end of the day. If I keep loving my neighbor as myself and I keep running into a situation where it's getting worse and worse as I keep loving my neighbor as myself, it's like, oh, I just keep showing love and they just keep showing hate. I might want to reassess. Maybe I still believe in loving my neighbor as myself, but now I got to reassess and say, well, maybe I don't know what love is. Maybe I don't really understand what love is because I thought this felt right. This sounded right, but in my reality, it's not landing well. Okay. I'm hoping y'all follow me through that because I have other places to go. Now we're going to shift over to Cheyenne Bryant and how people respond. So think of the whole social media world. It's like, she's a fraud. She's delusional. She's all these things. They put all these labels on this person that they may not know. They may not ever interact with. But because social media is a place where, like me, I'm coming on here just talking about people, right? You can come on and just start talking. It's as if people feel like they have the right to do so. Because they see it online. It's like, now that I see it, I have visibility into your world. Everything that you say is now something I need to talk about. I've also saw this because I guess I am getting things served to me to help me make my point, where there is a famous YouTube duo named Abba and Preach. And people love their content. And all of a sudden, there's this war. Abba has a young lady that he's dealing with outside of social media. So he's in the real world, living in the real world, right? And then he comes to social media world to practice, to give his insight. But in his real world is now mushing in to this social media world. And now he's exposed to all the things, right? So, he gets exposed because that real person in his real world decided to bring it into the social media world. And now he has to respond to his audience. He has to tell them about his life, where he chose the social media world for a compartment to give his opinions about other people or about his thoughts on society and the world, and then go back to his personal world. Okay, then this is last example, because I hope I can bring this home for anyone who's watching. This last example is with another YouTuber. It's a YouTuber and a comedian. And a YouTuber and comedian, they decide to do a show together, but the result of that show also resulted in people's real lives coming into the social media life, okay? Now that I have those three examples, and maybe you know these examples, maybe you don't. But the core theme beyond all three of the examples is that the social media world is now coming into and merging with someone's reality. And the social media world believes that they have the dominion, they have the right to give commentary because it somehow will change that person's real life and how they operate in real life. Now, this is the question. As social media people, as a consumer of social media, do you believe that your thoughts and your opinions and your meanings and your descriptions will actually shift someone's reality? If so, how? And if it does, which format do you think is most receptive? Now I'm going to go into this other lane where I was talking to a person in the United States of America, and we were talking about criticism. And the criticism from people you know in your life that love and adore you, that might not say it the best way, and people who you don't know. And there was weight to it, right? The person, let's consider someone who has a grandma or auntie, and the grandma or auntie sees you at the cookout, and the first thing they say before they say hello is, "Dang, you gaining weight, aren't you? You getting big, aren't you?" And you're like, "Dang, like, hello, how are you, sweetie?" But from this conversation, I gained a new perspective because I always thought it might be better to just say hello. I've always looked at people. I don't know how to explain this, but the first thing I'm thinking about when I see someone that I love or that's a part of my family or that I like is not typically something they have on or their body structure unless it was significantly changing. But even if that was the case, the first thing I want to say to them would not be that criticism. So I used to respond to that type of notion like, okay, that's it. Now, when I was having this conversation with this person in the United States of America, she mentioned that she took that as a form of love. That someone who loves you cares that much about you to pay that much attention to you. So maybe you should consider whatever they're saying.
I miss you like crazy. I think about you all the time. I want to be with you.
And on the other side of this is sometimes people are saying things and they don't need to say it. Not only do they not need to say it, they don't have to say it in a way that's harmful or disgusting, but they choose to. And then that's revealing of what's on that person's mind and how they see the world and how they see people, right? If I see a person and the things that are coming and surfacing into my mind are always negative things, I might want to pause and think, is there another perspective that I can see here? Given the situation is not harming, that's going to be a slippery slope. I'm going to stop and pause there. There are situations that definitely call for you to, at the top of your mind, think this is a horrific person. I hate them. Let's bash them, right? When people are intentionally destroying lives and they are harming people physically, they are people out there who will take a tool and run it through people. Those are things or they harm children. These are things that disgust us. They come to the surface. It's like, rah, rah, rah. But when there are people navigating this world and trying to figure out this and separating this, and they just have a different opinion than yours, perhaps you could still be disgusted. Perhaps you could still be, have to lead with name calling. But maybe there's a conversation that's due. But the thing about having a conversation that's due is that in the real world, you could probably come up to someone and talk to them and say, "Hey, I didn't like the way you said that. Is there something I'm misunderstanding about what you said?" Or you can get on the phone and you can dial them and you can say things. But in the social media world, you can just get online and have it one-sided and have it disconnected and just talk about whatever you want without actually engaging with this person that you really don't even know or have a relationship with. So your attention to them means what to them? Your attention to them means that they hear a lot of noise. They start to get feedback like something is wrong. perhaps that is the route that they'll take. That everyone is angry about this. Maybe I sit and pause because there's enough people who are uproaring about this topic that maybe I should consider that I have to think through this. That I was probably living in this box where I thought this was true, but now that I'm exposed, because that's what social media does for us, it's exposure therapy. If you're going to be a creator online or say anything online, you're exposing yourself to what other people think, how other people feel. And I imagine the key point or the key goal in being in those situations is that you have to have a strong sense of self. You have to have a strong sense of your identity and belief. And you also have to be self-aware enough to know when you are wrong.